Our topic for today is all about elements and principles of arts. But first, what is art? Here's the definition of art. It is the expression or application of human creative skill imagination, typically in a visual, such as painting or sculpture, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. Sinasabi dito, it's all about the human creative skill and imagination. When you say imagination, it's all about the artist's imagination. It depends on him or her idea on how he or she will do the art. There are elements of art. First is the line. It is a continuous marks that are made on any surface with a moving point. There are many types of lines. Here are the examples. When you say lines, it is a continuous mark wherein you can adjust the line point by point. Next is the element of shape. There are two dimensions of shape, the length and the width. When you say length, it is yung haba. Pag sinabing width is yung lawak. They are the lines that come together that form the shape. Here are the examples of the shapes. Ito lang po yung mga basic examples of the shapes. Next element is the form. The form has 3 dimensions. Kung yung shape is merong 2 dimensions, the form has 3 dimensions. Here are the examples. The 3 dimensions are the length, width, and the height. Sa shape, there's only 2, the length and the width. Sa form, kasama na din yung height. Next element is the value. The value refers to the change in the base color. Here's an example that emphasizes the element of value. It determines the light or how much light is reflected or absorbed by any surface. It is the lightness and the darkness of this artwork. As you can see, the value of the darkness is not really emphasized, but also the other dark colors. The dark tints and shades are the essential elements of the value. Next is the texture. It is the quality of a surface or the way of our artwork is represented. Also, the elements of lines and shading can be used to create this texture. Here's an example of different texture. As you can see, there's shading and the element of the line. Next is the space. The space is the creation of visual perspective, and this gives the illusion of depth. Also, shapes and lines are arranged to create this artwork. As you can see in these 2 examples, here is the line only. But in the next example is meron ding mga shapes. As you can see, nagkakaroon ng illusion. Parang gumagalaw, and parang itong isang example is pahulog yung mga shapes. Next is the color. There are 3 characteristics in the color. First, the hue. Hue means the shades. It is the shading of the color. When you say the next characteristic is the value. When you say value, it refers to the lightness and darkness of the color. And last is the intensity. When you say intensity, it refers to the brightness or dullness of the color in the artwork. Next, we're going to talk about the principles of arts. The first principle is the emphasis. In the emphasis, there are areas that highlighted or emphasized in artwork to capture the interest of the viewers. So, in the first glance, yun po yung una mong makikita. Here is an example. As you can see in the picture, there is only one object that can capture your viewer because iba po yung kulay ng flower. So, yun po yung nagke-create ng emphasis. Na-emphasize po yung puting flower because siya lang po yung naiiba. Next is the harmony. The harmony is the complication of a painting that reduced by harmonizing all the elements. So, here in the harmony, gumamit ka ng lahat ng elements. Pwede mo silang pagsama-samahin and nagke-create ka ng isang magandang artwork. Next is the movement. The movement depicts the action and the path followed by the eye of the viewer. Ito po yung example. Akala mo is gumagalaw siya, pero hindi talaga siya gumagalaw. It is because yung path, yung ginalawan ng art, and yung action na kinecreate ng art is parang gumagalaw. And yun po yung sinusundan ng mga mata natin. Next is the unity. The unity is the completeness through appropriate use of the elements resulting in unity of the artwork. Here is an example of that emphasizes unity in artwork. Here is an artwork by Van Gogh. It is called the Starry Starry Night. As you can see, nagkakaroon ng unity with the color, the lines, and the shading. And it resulted to the unity of the artwork. Next is the balance. There are three ways to maintain a balance. First, it can be radial, wherein the rays of the artwork is like a circle. Next way is the asymmetrical, wherein the parts or the aspects of the artwork is not equal. Or the symmetrical, that exactly similar parts facing each other. Here is an example of radial. As you can see, it is like a circle. Next is the asymmetrical. Again, when we say asymmetrical, hindi po siya magkapareho with the both sides. But the symmetrical is equally the same. Next is the variety. When you say variety, the artwork comes from the different forms and colors. But when it is combined harmoniously. So, pag pinagsama-sama siya, maganda siya tignan. Last is the proportion. When you say proportion, is kung papaano nalalagay yung every object sa artwork. It is the measurement of the quantity of the elements to compose the artwork. It can be how the parts fit together to make it whole. As you can see in the picture, mas pinalaki yung isang object rather than the other objects because it is how you can fit the elements together to make it a whole artwork. Thank you for listening.